Erdin, repeat your question for president of Thomson Reuters.
The big challenge for media companies like Thomson Reuters is not the proliferation of output devices like the iPad or the Kindle. They have enough resources to get to any device. The real challenge is the proliferation of content producers, starting from individual bloggers to super tweeters to niche, high-quality outfits like Politico and the MIT Entrepreneurship. How is Thomson Reuters going to address that?
What are your thoughts on dealing with that really, really important challenge?
Yeah, it's a fascinating issue because, you know, in the old days, all of the sort of law and also, thinking around how do you create an environment where a plurality of views can be expressed and consumed was all around, you know, a rich person or a rich company owned the printing press, or in television, you know, a one-way pipe out to an audience. And there was this initial moment of jubilation when, you know, suddenly you realize it's a two-way pipe and the Berlin Wall had fallen and everyone can be a publisher. And that's really neat, except you sort of fall back into this problem, which is there's then so much information out there and so many potential sources, you can't find it again. You can't find it not because it's scarce and there's no way of getting at it. You can't get it because you need a lighthouse, you need curation, you need an editor, you need a search engine to find it. So you've already solved a little bit of that problem because it's the MIT journal, right? Brands become real important again because they're a signaling device of, I'm assuming that MIT would yank the brand and close down the publication if you printed a lot of hate speech in it. So I know that even before I decide to click through, oh, it's the MIT Entrepreneur. Well, that's interesting. That tells me a couple of things I think I know about it. The quality of the individuals, the education they're receiving that are writing it. It's probably worth an interesting read. And similarly, I think you see that in a lot of other, whether it's media or across the board, strong brands still end up being a signaling device and become more important again. What I think is real interesting is how do brands reach out and not just publish only their own things, how do they also act as cooperatively with citizen journalists, how do they aggregate, how do they tag their own data in a way that allows you to then go and make a combination of information that includes some stuff from the primary vendor, if you will, but a lot of other links to information that they can't possibly own everything behind the walled garden. So all sorts of interesting issues. You should write about it and I'll read it. Go right to your neighbor and then back around there.